Hello, today I'll be answering the question, what kind of media institutions might distribute your media products and why? So, the media institution that I've chosen that I believe, would distribute our product would be Film 4. Now, the reason why I chose this was looking at the back catalogue of what they've produced and what we've produced, and also their audience and the conventions they have in each of their films. Um, so let's start at the beginning. Now, the back catalogue of all the films they've created, I've got a list here. So they've created such films as 28 Days Later, the sequel 28 Weeks Later, a dystopian film called How I Live Now, the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Trance, A Field in England, many different sort of British up-and-coming sort of directors and writers and actors. Um, and they're also career starters as well. So another reason why I chose these was because these films are very similar to the films that the products we've created. So films like Shaun of the Dead, 28 Weeks Later, How I Live Now, they're all dystopian films. Only one of them follows the route of the comedy that like we have, which is Shaun of the Dead, obviously, which is an inspiration for us on the dystopian film. Um, Also, their audience. A lot of their audience is between the target audience that we chose, which was 16 to 24-year-olds. The reason why they've done this was because they're kind of Film 4 produces a lot of up and like rising stars and new directors, and they usually have they have directors that are just coming out of university and college. Um, and which is why a lot of younger people watch them, because it's their generation creating films for them. Um, and also it kind of and so that's why I thought it was the best thing, the best production company to go with. Also, the conventions. They've produced a lot of comedies and a lot of kind of like not non-mainstream films. So like a lot of cult classics as well, so like Sightseers and all these sort of comedies and dark comedies, which and a lot of big films as well. They funded a lot of big films, and so I think that's why I chose them, was because well, I'm kind of, the audience that we wanted is our age range, and obviously a bit older. And so I wanted to find a media institution that fitted in that age range. I didn't want um, a big, well-known studio like Paramount or 20th Century Fox. I wanted a British studio, because we are British, and our inspirations are like Simon Pegg, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, those sort of style, the comedy and that sort of style. And so I think that's why we chose Film 4, because of their obviously, and the back catalogue and where they're going in the future. Their main, they are always focusing on the new people coming in, and which is why I think they would probably pick our production to release, because we're the newest generation. So yeah, I think that's the Film 4, and I also believe Working Title as well, because those two have worked a lot on the same sort of films, so like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, the ones I've mentioned before. So them two together, I think would probably co-release and produce the film. Thank you very much for listening.